everyone, I hope you're well and you're happy. So in this video, we'll be making this perfect, amazing office desk or study table. This is by far one of my favorite projects that I've ever done. Yes, I've said it, but this is very perfect, innovative, and enjoy working from home, enjoy studying, and I love this project. I must say, I love it. So stick around until the end. I'm going to show you the tips and tricks on how to get this amazing finish. So thank you so much for your support and your love. Enjoy this build and let's start building.
Here's a list of the tools and the materials that you're going to need for this build. So please note that you can find this at your nearest hardware stores or home improvement stores. And then when it comes to the paints and the stains that I use, so I use all the stains by Harlequins Paint. Please do check it out.
This is a perfect build. Save money and be proud of yourself. So let's get ready to build. Okay, so this is your 480mm woodcut. So I need 4 of those, and then I'm gonna need your 760mm woodcut. So basically this is the formation of your legs. So we're gonna start and arrange it like this. What we're gonna do, can you see, this is exactly how the leg structure is going to be. So I'm gonna be a bit detailed. So what we need to do is just to take your tape measure and then measure for about 130mm. So this is what's going to happen. So this is just the formation of your legs. So the distance between the last lumbar and the other one, it will be exactly about 130mm for both sides. Once this is nicely done and I've measured the 130mm distance for the formation of my legs. So this is just the leg structure. So I'm just gonna use a pen and then just to trace off exactly where the last line is. So I'm gonna just use it like this and then just to trace off where the last line is. So this will give me a bit of a guide if I'm going off track. So there we go. So if you have a pocket hole jig, so please use it. So this is just basically using it and then just opening up screws and putting screws from within so that we don't have to put screws on the other side. And then also I'm going to use my clamps just to clamp down everything and then just to make sure that everything is nicely tight. And I just put 2 holes on each side and then we can just start joining everything. So I'm going to just use my pen as a guide just to put axis on where I'm going to put my holes. So always tilt your drill in an angle so that you're able to obtain that. And then do the same thing for the other side as well. Oh, oops. Just hold it down. And then I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side as well.
So this is the formation of the leg. So what you need to do just to make sure that the distance between the last lumbar and also the floor should be about 130mm. And once you're done, just put everything together and make sure that everything is tight and secure. And remember your wood glue as well.
So we've done the first leg. So this is how it is. So this is how the first leg is. Hope you can see that. So basically this is the structure of the first leg. So I'm going to repeat the same process all over again. So I'm just going to put this aside.
So in this phase, we're repeating the first step all over again. So we're making the second part of the leg. So basically, you just have to repeat the same process. So there's a bit of leeway here. So just make sure that, let's say, for example, you made a mistake in the first formation when you're putting the leg together. So let's say, for example, you went about 140mm instead of 130mm. This is the perfect time to just make that correction because you need to make sure that both legs are in the same size. So use your tape measure and make sure that both legs are exactly to the T, the exact size between them, because if you don't, your table will be a bit wobbly and we don't want that to happen. So what I'm currently doing is just to join everything together. So I'm using a 1100 millimeter wood cut. That is the long part, and I'm going to join it with the legs. And also I've also going to put wood glue between the joining surfaces. The wood glue basically just reinforces the entire structure and just gives it a bit of extra strength. So you can see that I've done my pocket hole openings prior to this. So I'm using my screws, and then I'm just going to put everything onto the screws, and then just to join the two pieces together. So the trick here, you can also work on the other side as well, but the trick here on this is just to make sure that your 1100 millimeter cut is lying flat and it's in a proper flat surface. Repeat the same process by attaching using wood screws to attach the 1000 millimeter wood cut to the brace of the leg of the table. So you know, you might be wondering how I'm managing to put everything all together. If you have clamps, please do use them. I don't have clamps which are long enough for me to accommodate this, but overall it was not that bad to keep everything upright.
So we're going to repeat the same process, and just to put another brace, so I'm going to flip it over so it can sit flat. Then I repeat the same process. There we go.
Please comment down below and let me know if you're going to attempt to do this project. It's an easy build and you're going to enjoy it.
Back again. So the last thing that I need to do is just to put the last leg support. So I'm just going to put it here. So this is right at the feet. So just be careful, and then just make sure you put wood glue between the surfaces. I'm just going to put this in here. I'll just try to make sure that it's all balanced with the other one. So I'm just using an offcut just to make sure that it's in the straight line position. So this is all straight. So I'm just going to use my screws and then just to put everything together. Should be nice and easy. Do the same thing on this side as well. There we go. I'm done with the frame of the table. So now we're going to move on to the next phase. So this is the frame. It's all done.
So we're done with the most, let me say, intimidating part, which is the frame or the base of the table. Let me know down in the comment section if this was complicated or you need something a bit simpler compared to this. The next phase of the project is just to put wood filler on the holes that we've created. So what wood filler is basically a paste that you put and apply onto the surface where there's an opening. It's very good. So the color that I chose is white, and then I'm going to show you how to just close up everything.
We're going to make our own wood filler. So this is just normal offcuts from a jar. And then just use wood glue. Put enough wood glue, and then also
the reason I chose white wood filler is because my table, I'm going to paint the bottom white. So please bear in mind and choose the correct color paste.
We're done with the frame. You can see it in the background. And then now we're going to do the tabletop of the study desk or the office desk. So with the tabletop, so the length of my tabletop will be about 1200 millimeter long. So basically I'm using 2 of the 220 millimeter wide pine, and also 140 millimeter wide pine as well. This is for the tabletop, so it's 2 of each. So I'll put in the description the exact wood cut that you're gonna need for the tabletop. So basically I'm just gonna put markings to exactly where I'm gonna join this. So another trick of this, you can literally just lay the tabletop right on top of the frame, and then just put screws on it on the side. But I wanted something neater, something to hide the screws. We are advancing, we're doing something nice and innovative. So I'm just gonna do them from within. So I've rearranged my tabletop. This is how I want my tabletop to be. So basically, since this is how the feel and the like I want for my tabletop, I'm gonna flip everything upside down and then work from within. So this section here is basically my bottom part. So where I'm gonna hide the screws. For this section, it's very handy that you have clamps. So if you don't have clamps, you might struggle a bit, but it's not the end of the world. You might have to come up with an alternative on how you're gonna put everything together. So I'm gonna do them at a time. So my clamps are not long enough for all of them, you can see. So what I'm gonna do is just have to force this last one and just make sure that everything is nice and secure.
So what I'm currently doing here is just to use my pocket hole jig just to create an opening where my screws are going to sit. So you can use this as a normal drill, or you can also use a pocket hole jig if you have it. So this is basically a clean way of putting your screws together, and also your joint will be tight and secure as well. So there's no rule of thumb of how many screws you need per board. So what I did was just to put 8 screws per board. This is just to make sure to reinforce the entire structure. So you can go for about 10 or 12 or 14 just to make sure that your joint is tight and secure.
So please remember your wood glue between the joining surfaces. Now I'm just going to put everything together. Just make sure that everything is in a straight line position and it's nice and flat.
The next thing that I did was just to put wood clamps between the joints. What wood clamps are basically your extra sets of hands. So it's basically reinforcing and helping me bind the two boards together so that I don't have to struggle. So after clamping down my boards, what I did was just to securely tighten using the wood screws. So I'm using my 40mm screws so that everything must be nice and tight. So please make sure that your surface that you're working on is also flat as well. Please like this video and also leave a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know how you're going to use this project for, or if you're going to make it, who you're going to make it for as well. Please share this video with your friends or your family or someone who may really need a project like this. So don't keep me to yourself. Share and spread the word, please. So up next, we're just cleaning up and sanding our way through. So the process of sanding is just a nice cleaning up process just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and all the edges are nice and smooth. So I also cleaned up the wood filler also. It took a bit of time to clean up the wood filler because I took a whole lot of time to come back for this project. So please don't do that. Don't wait for your filler to get dry too much. And also on this phase, if you don't have an electric sander, you can also use a block of sander so that you can have a nice smooth finish.
Now coming to the cosmetic side of things, for my tabletop, I'm going to be using Harlequins Paint's Mature Teak. This is a wooden stain. So for my base, which is the base of the desk, I'm going to use also Harlequins Paint's Age White paint. So this is a stain and this is a paint. So this will be for the bottom and this will be for the top. So let's see how this turns out.
So when you're working with the stain, always wear your protective gloves so that your hands must not be stained. And also another thing to note, you must always go in the direction of the grain of the wood. I did a video down a few days ago, which shows how you apply a stain. So I always go in the direction of the grain of the wood, so that my stain must just come out and represent the pure beauty of the natural wood. Most people say that painting and staining is very healing and therapeutic. So let me know down in the comment section if you believe in that. So I actually don't enjoy painting because it takes a whole lot of time. So you have to wait for the paint to dry. There's a whole lot of mess. You have to clean the brushes when you're done. So let me know down in the comment section if you enjoy painting or staining. So here's the table base, nice and dry. I love the color combination of this. It's beautiful, it's stunning. I love how perfect it is. So here what I'm basically doing is I'm going to just join all the parts together. So here what I'm using is a pocket hole jig. What a pocket hole jig is the instrument that we're using initially for the tabletop. So we're just doing openings, 2 openings on each side, so that we're able to put the screws of our tabletop right from within and from the bottom of the table. So for better access, I had to flip around the table so that I can put on screws from the bottom part. So this was a simple exercise to do. Just make sure that you flip your table so that you're able to put your screws properly. Here I was using my 30mm screws, and then I was able to put all the screws nice and tight. And also, just a disclaimer, you can also put as many openings as you desire so that you can have a reinforced, stronger joint on your tabletop. So get excited, we've done the labor intensive work of this project. So now what we need to do is just to seal off the table. So what I'm going to use for sealing off the table and just to use a protective coverage is just a seal called Easy Seal by Harlequins Paint. So I'm using just a cloth just to apply enough generous amount of the seal onto the tabletop. So the white substance that you're seeing, basically that's going to dry off, so don't worry about that. It dries off when the stain or the paint dries off completely. So this is, I don't even know what to say. Now that we've reached this part of the project, I am so excited. You have no idea. This project alone gives me so much joy, and it's beautiful. I love the combination of the colors. The beauty of this is that you can gift it, you can keep it, you can sell it, or even, I don't know, but this is just one of my favorite projects. Yes, I've said it before, I know, but I love this project. Please do try this project. Let me know down in the comment section what your views are about this project. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your love and your support. And until next time, thank you. Cheers. Bye.